I didn't see you there. You are probably thinking two things. What flavor ramen am I eating, and how did I make it? Well, it's shrimp flavored. But how did I make it? With water, of course. Water is very important to all of us, and it helps us in our daily lives. But what happens when there's pollution? Some bad stuff. There's a lot to talk about when it comes to water. Let's check it out. Hey, it's me again. And yes, I did finish my ramen, and yes, it was good. So let's get to the real point. Water. It's very important to humans, it's very important to all life, but we're running out of water, and that's not a good thing. So that's something we definitely gotta talk about. And the pollution that we are bringing to water. Gotta save those turtles, man. With all that plastic, big no. Let's just get to it. Let's jump right in. So, water pollution is the contamination of water that lessens its value to living organisms. So we humans, when we do our human stuff, when we get things done, we make a lot of waste. And when we don't use that waste properly, we can end up disposing it the wrong way and harming wildlife, and that is not good. But when it comes to identifying where the waste comes from, you either might know where it is or you either might not. There's a point source and there's a non-point source. So a point source, or point source pollution, is a single identifiable source of pollution. That's when you immediately know where it's from. There's a direct source that you can find and identify and go based off of that. And with that, you're able to find the problem immediately and fix it. An example of that is a factory dumping through a pipe. So if there's a single pipe dumping waste into a pond, you could identify that that is the single way that the waste is coming into the pond. Let's talk about non-point source pollution. So like I was saying before, now I don't even know how that got there. Anyways, non-point source pollution is a little different from point source pollution. With point source pollution, you can easily identify the one location of which waste is coming from, but with non-point pollution, you can only take a guess of where it comes from, because it's pollution that comes from many different sources. You can't exactly pinpoint one spot like you did before with point source pollution. An example that could be parking lots or water from rain. So identifying where pollution comes from is always important, but we should break it down a little more. Let's go back to the basics. So when it comes to water, something you need to keep in mind is that there is a lot of it. I mean, the earth is basically 70% water, but how much of it is usable by humans? I mean, only 3% of it is in frozen and surface water that can be drinkable and fresh water, but even then, only less than 1% is truly accessible. And with increasing population numbers and increasing issues and climate change and the whole world ending, it's hard to keep track, and it's hard to, continue to advance in society with the fact that we're running out of water. And it's difficult knowing that our planet has so much water and we can't take that much advantage of it. But with the water we have, 70% of it is used for agriculture, 20% is used for industry, and for domestic use it's about 10%. So water is very evident in our daily lives, and the fact that water is running out is not a good sign. The fact that our numbers are rising up as people, not good either, but that's just how it is with water. Even then, smart choices are being made to protect us and protect water. Let's touch base with that. Whoa. Slow down, me. I know you're excited to talk about this, but let's take it back. For water sources, we get our water from a lot of places. Obviously, with fresh water, you can only get it from surface water and from glaciers and ice and all that jazz. But, it's easier to just simplify it like this. There's a lot of different places we can get our water, from streams, lakes, reservoirs, springs, rivers, ponds, and wells. A lot of places. Yet, not a lot of water. Wish that wasn't the case. But let's get on to some of the acts that have been put in place for protecting us from water and protecting water. let's get to it. So it's been important in our history for... Again, what is going on? Must have been that ramen I ate before. Anyways, since the 1970s in the US, it's been very important to keep our water safe and keep us safe from our water. So there have been two very important acts that still contribute today, and I would like to discuss those. So there's the Clean Water Act and the Safe Drinking Water Act. Let's talk about it. Okay, I'm going to start with the Clean Water Act. So that was passed in 1972, and it serves to maintain chemical, biological, and physical integrity of the navigable waters of the U.S. That's very important to keep water as safe as it possibly can be for our consumption, because it goes through a lot of processing in order to get to us and remain safe and healthy. This law has also made it unlawful to discharge any pollutant from a point source into navigable waters unless a permit was obtained. So this basically doesn't let you yeet some waste. Dang it, I'm a hip teen. I gotta throw in those slang words. I'm so sorry. Let me be a little more serious. Okay. So basically what it's saying is, from a point source, like I said before with the factory pipe, you can't just discharge it right into navigable waters. So it's basically protecting the water from harming marine life, and it's keeping navigable water safe and clear, which is important because you gotta, navigate the goods. Sure, it's important to navigate goods with the Clean Water Act and keep our navigable roads safe, but what about us? What about our health when we drink water? That's where the Safe Drinking Water Act comes in. So, the Safe Drinking Water Act... What is... the quiet world? Hey, this isn't even the right subject. This is for a push. Ugh, get out of here. We have more important things to discuss, such as the Safe Drinking Water Act. Right where I was getting. So it was originally passed in 1974 to protect public health by regulating the nation's public drinking water supply. It requires many actions to protect drinking water and its sources, which include rivers, lakes, reservoirs, springs, and groundwater wells. So basically, it's all towards keeping us safe. It makes sure that water is up to standards, that there isn't any issues, like sometimes lead pipes can cause contamination. They try to keep that safe. It's basically making sure the water we drink, the water we consume, the water we use in our lives is safe for us to use, which is always good. Yeah. So, that's basically what I have to say about water. I think it's a very important topic, and it's going to be a definitely bigger topic in the final exam, so I'm glad I got to talk through that a little bit. With our human population rising, with the need for development rising, with the demand for water rising, there's just a lot of stuff rising for water. But the only thing not rising is the amount of water left, and that's just going down. And the fact that, less of 1% of the water available on Earth is available for our use, it's a scary thing to think about, but it's an important thing to discuss, especially in this course. So, I'm glad I got to talk about it. It's an important topic that I think will definitely be a big factor in the exam. So, yeah, that's what I have to say. If you're wondering, I was talking kind of about stuff in Unit 7, Chapters 9 and 14. So, yeah. Oh, by the way, you sat through all of this. I know it's a little off topic, but not really off topic if you think about it. I'm going to show you a couple pictures of my cats, just to, keep you calm, cool, collected, give you a little smile, per se. And it does connect to water because... Can I English? Because cats drink water. So, basically, water is important to them, too. If they don't get water, they can't go on. So, that's a sad thing to think about, but I love them. And I love water. So should you. Keep water safe. Save the turtles. Rock on.